Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman. Is he returning for Wolverine? Or is he returning as Kraven? Or is he going to be coming as Kraven, the Hunter? Now, this is a long rumoured thing. We've had many reports over many years that Hugh Jackman wanted to be in the MCU. Right, we've had him flip-flop. Yes, I want to be in the MCU. No, I don't. I want to see Wolverine in the MCU, but played by someone else. I've hung it up for good. I don't want to do anything else. And I'd love to do it one more time. It's all over the place. And this is just another kind of thread to the bow of, or the tapestry of rumours, as it were. And this comes to us from a well-known leaker, Daniel RPK. He's leaked a lot of stuff in the past. There's no reason to dispute this particular claim, but the claim is that, well, he's screenshotted a casting call that's been, a role has been offered to Hugh Jackman, which, not specifically saying that it's Wolverine, has led people to think that it is Wolverine. I think it's Kraven, actually. And if it's not Kraven and it is Wolverine, probably just going to be a cameo. But obviously this is built off the back of the whole multiverse story that's been floating around, which is a long, like, rumours that have just been spinning for a while. So we had rumours that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were going to be joining Spider-Man 3, because of course Jamie Foxx as Electro is coming back. It's a different Electro apparently, but he's coming back, and obviously the fact that we had J.K. Simmons playing J. Jonah Jameson in the most recent Spider-Man film, that opens up the Spider-Verse as well. So it's this whole numerous things that have just been spawning all these rumours, and then that even builds off the fact that the Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, that is said to create a multiverse situation that leads to multiple actors playing different roles, and the whole universe being completely different. Now, I actually think it's a really good way to go for Marvel, because they were building to that overarching Infinity Saga, right? I mean, it was an Infinity Week, I guess, but they built to all of that, okay? And that took 10 years, super slow, steady. Like, whether you think it was good or not, it was super slow and steady, and it built to a massive narrative that ultimately, completely shattered the Marvel Universe moving forwards. Like, where do you go from there? Because you build to universe reality-breaking circumstances, where do you then go? With that much power, it's very difficult, and that's why a lot of comics continually reboot themselves. They build to big events and then they reboot the universes, and they've had to keep doing this time and time again recently to get people's attention, whereas I actually think the best possible route is to just go to ground level, go to grassroots level, just do that. Like, imagine, remember Daredevil, why that was so good. Grassroots stuff is good fun. It's much more engaging, I think, on the long term. So I do think a multiverse is the way to go, and because of this, the casting rumours, obviously people point to Wolverine returning, and his sort of send off in Logan was great. I actually wouldn't want to see him come back, because I think that was a really good send off. I think that was what everyone wanted, and I think if you bring him back, you're not gonna get what you want. You're not gonna get this again. You're just not. And I really liked that movie. I really liked that film. Whether you agree or disagree, it's fine. But I personally really enjoyed that film, and I wouldn't want to see him back. However, would I want to see Hugh Jackman play the role of Kraven? Yes, I would. I think Hubert Jackman would be great in the role of Kraven. So here we go. This was the tweet by Daniel RPK. Just said, 10th of September, offer out to Hubert Jackman. Now, this was only tweeted out fairly recently, not super recently, but fairly recently, and it doesn't confirm anything. It doesn't say what role it is. It just says an offer out to. Now, the likelihood of it being Kraven, I think, is a lot higher than it being Wolverine, because he has said, and there's some quotes in this article, which is linked down below, so please do go and check it out. But here we go. Look, so Jackman, the actor himself, has expressed interest towards seeing Wolverine in the MCU, but he's not said himself. So he said, I would love to see particularly Iron Man and the Hulk and Wolverine together. But he said, unfortunately, the ship has sailed for me, and he would like to see someone else. I would like to see Wolverine in there, but it being played by someone else. And yes, he has, he's flip-flopped on it a lot. He has. But I don't know. I think he would do himself a disservice coming back. Such a epic. It'd be like Patrick Stewart coming back to play Professor X. You just do yourself a disservice after such a great send-off. And that was a great send-off as well for everyone involved. I think it was a really good send-off. It was touching. It was heartfelt. Had all the raw emotion that you kind of wanted, and that mature theme that I think most people wanted, who had not necessarily grown up specifically, but had started to watch the X-Men movies and had matured with the X-Men movies. The original X-Men movies when they were released, people that started watching them as kids or teens had matured onwards, and I think that's why Logan was so good, because that's the character maturing with the audience. And that's what I've long said actually about franchises, is I think that there's a time and a place. I think you can separate certain movies to certain age groups. You can have a cartoon just for kids, and you can have a movie that tells a story, a mature story, in line with the maturity of the initial audience that made those films a success. That's kind of my thinking anyway. However, it does say that, however, as time passes and the coronavirus pandemic keeps productions closed and restricted, it's hard to imagine anything that ambitious is being pushed, which does make sense. There's a lot of issues going on at the moment with this, causing a lot of people not really wanting to get involved, and people can't get involved. The restrictions in place. Anthony Mackie came out recently and said it's garbage. He said it's really rough. People have huge issues with it, and he doesn't like the restrictions in place. And they're filming in Prague, so you'd think that they'd be a little bit more lax, but they're not. Now, since this was posted, obviously a bunch of people have chimed in and said, give me Jackman as Kraven. Bringing back good actors like Jackman, Isaac, Peters, etc. is great. It doesn't constantly mean multiverse, though. And yeah, that's completely right. Not at all. I hate that everyone's go-to assumption for every single piece of Marvel news is more multiverse stuff. It's much more likely this is for Kraven than anything else, especially Wolverine, which does make sense given the actor. Can you see Hugh Jackman as Kraven? Yes. Can you see him as Wolverine again? Well, yeah, of course. But would he come back given such a good send-off? Probably not. Also, based on his quotes that he's done numerous times. And it doesn't always mean that it's a multiverse, but the multiverse stuff is what's caused the rumours, because we have heard so much about this multiverse stuff. So when you hear about a returning actor without a given role, the go-to is naturally going to be multiverse. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? And yeah, look, he's Kraven. He would definitely be a great Kraven, I think. That'd be awesome. How good would that be? But anyway, this article does note that, however, production for Spider-Man 3 has just begun, as shown by Atlanta Filming's Instagram, and if Kraven were meant to be an integral villain in that film, it would make sense that the offer for Jackman would be made this late into production. But it would if he's just going to be teased at the end, and it's not. He's not actually an integral villain. The integral aspect of the film is the multiverse element, and maybe Kraven comes in at the end. Who knows? That's the thing. We just don't know, do we? Obviously, Jackman's return remains a rumour, albeit one that could be a big win for Marvel Studios if Jackman agrees to accept their alleged offer. The thing is, I think Marvel and Disney do have to do a lot to come back. Not necessarily from any kind of Disney controversy or anything along those lines. They have to do a lot to come back from people saying that they were done with Marvel once they'd watched the Endgame, right? Because a lot of people watched that film and said, I'm happy, I'm done now, actually. I'm good. I don't actually want to see anymore. I was one of those people, and I know there's numerous other people that said, no, I'm good. I don't actually need to watch anything else. I'm good. I watched these for a bit, and I'm happy with my time being spent on it, but I'm good now. they do have to do a lot to switch people around, and Hugh Jackman coming back for anything would get a lot of people on side. So this could just be part of their tactics. It's just marketing at the end of the day. And he's a good actor as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd like to see him back. Not as Logan, because I think he had a great send-off as Logan in Logan. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, please do hit subscribe. And for subscribers and new people alike, if you want to get actually notified of videos, you've got to click the bell icon and you have to click notifications on to all. If you click anything else, it won't notify you at all. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Twitter's a good place because I do share videos there. Check out at Mr. H Reviews, or one word. Thanks so much. Take care.